Yesterday while I was working, I was using my flashlight and it started to flicker. Now I use the Paleblue AAA USB-C charged battery, and that flicker is actually it telling the device that it's in low power mode. See, the Paleblue batteries output a even 1.5 volts throughout its entire life, up until the very end when it starts to give a little flicker up and down of voltage to try to tell the device it's time to go into low power mode and get ready for the battery to die. Once it stopped going from high to low, it started doing a on and off. And this was an interesting thing because I originally thought it was a flaw, but what was happening was it was catching my attention. I was paying attention to the light flickering, so I charged it up enough so it would stop doing that. And then I put it in a cup holder and started to record it while I drove. I had a couple-hour drive, so I decided, let's see how long it does this for. Once it started to flicker on and off, it lasted for about 46 minutes, which means I have 46 minutes of intermittent light telling me it's time to charge this. Now, I continued to run it until it was completely dead. I come from the nickel cadmium and nickel metal hydride eras, which means that this battery technically shouldn't charge anymore because those chemistries didn't. But the Paleblue battery has a lithium-ion battery on the inside, a BMS on top, and that's what runs all the system. That's why it goes from the 3.7 volt lithium-ion inside of it to the 1.5 volt on the outside. And because of that feature, it doesn't drain to zero, which means this will still charge. So I wanted to see what it would take to charge it from dead to full. And it was about an hour and 14 minutes. As it's charging, the light around the ring at the top blinks green. And when it's done charging, it turns solid. And that happened around an hour and 14 minutes or so. Now, the really cool thing about the Paleblue batteries is if I charge this for 15 minutes, just 15 minutes, I get the full 1.5 volts that I would get from a store-bought alkaline battery, which is extremely impressive to me because that means I might not get the full life of the battery, but if I need light right now and I don't need it for long, I can get that almost immediately. So with my AAA battery fully charged, it's ready to go back in my flashlight, get buried in my pocket, and used quite regularly.